Generational wealth is for everyone, but in this video, I'm going to describe why it may not be for you. Because if you're gonna cash in or go all in on a dream, you want to make sure that it's for you. The same way, if you're gonna go all in on a car or a house, you want to make sure that it's for you. So in this video, let's make sure it's for you. I'm Georgie. I'm building my own pathway to generational wealth. I make a nice 5-figure income. I love my 9 to 5, but I would love to be work optional even more so I can choose to go to work instead of just, being forced to. It kind of feels different, right? We're not supposed to unconditionally love our jobs. There are conditions, and they better be met, guys. So if you're my employer and you're watching this, I'm watching you back. Now, with all of that being said, generational wealth is for everyone. Many people can achieve it, but most people will not. That's the sad, maybe it's not sad, but it is the bittersweet truth. It takes dedication, and most people think they want it, but they can't really even say why they want it. A very small, and I mean a small percentage of people, in my last video, I asked for you to share your why. Why do you want generational wealth? Well, I expected at least 40 people out of the 2,000 subscribers and at least 40 people from the 500 people that came from the Instagram group to write their whys. And guys, we didn't make it. We didn't make it. So how can all of, not you watching this, but everyone else who thinks that they're watching this, but really they're tuning out. If you're not tuning out, drop that like right there so I know you're still here. I think I just tuned out because of my it's not disappointment. It's more like, yes, I expected this to happen because, well, there's a reason why the 1% is called the 1%. Now, besides institutional powers and all that yada yada, there's a lot of individual grit. I was going to say grit that it takes, and girth, right? That it takes to get to that 1% spot. Now, we're not chasing numbers, right? We don't care about being in the top 1%, except for you over there. I see you. I know you care. We care about living the best life that we can and providing the most for our families. That's what we really care about. And usually that means you're in the top, maybe like 10% of the economic class. Now, how do we get there? Let's break it down. But before we do, I want to say that the comments, that the 32 brave souls, and hopefully that number will keep climbing, they're just beautiful. And I want to take just 1 second to share them. So check it out right here. I just want to read this real quick. Someone wrote, "Your videos are so impactful. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. You can tell," I didn't pick this comment because it is hyping me up. "You can tell how sincere you are about actually trying to help others. This is the important part. I'm motivated to build generational wealth so my 2 daughters can understand how much easier it is to let money work for you than it is to work. Shout out to Rihanna. Work. She's a billionaire, by the way. Here's another comment that I really like, and this one's bittersweet, and a lot of honesty here. "I hate that I wasted so much time in my 20s and 30s. I feel so late, but I'd rather start now and leave something to my kids versus saying it's too late mindset that my parents had. Also, I don't want to be 70 and still working or highly dependent on my kids because I didn't plan ahead. Thanks for the info and looking forward to the rest." And there was a lot of comments about kids, etc. So I don't want to take away from all of these brave souls that did share, because it is so hard to share and talk about money, especially if everyone like me is reading and judging you. And judgment's not a bad thing, right? We need judgment. People probably didn't judge our money habits, and we ended up where we ended up, in a good way or not so good way, but we're here to fix that. So with that being said, a lot of people shared comments about their kids and how they want to provide and create an example for their kids, but your kids can be a part of that journey, and we'll discuss that in a different video. You don't have to be 18 or 20 or 25 to start this journey, right? Warren Buffett, he's sitting right there he is. That's Warren Buffett right there. He started at 11. One of my youngest students in Stock Market 101, which is my course that I sell on Instagram a couple of times a year, he was 11. I actually had a baby tune in. But anyways, enough of that. Let's get into the rest of this. So Yes, 1% of the population, they got all this wealth. 10% of the population living large, living good. But think about the numbers here, right? There may be a correlation with self-belief and having money at the end of the day. Eventually, right? You can believe in yourself all you want, but without actions, it won't get anywhere. You already know that. But less than 6% of people actually follow through with the challenge and left a comment saying why they want this. So if you're that people, or if it's not too late if you weren't in that group, you could go back to the previous video and leave your comment. If you're here right now, this is your chance to say to the world once again, I'm here and I believe in myself. I challenge everyone to do that. Because if you can't believe in yourself, there is no point in watching the rest of this series. There's just no point in watching the rest of this video. You have to believe in yourself. Now, you could doubt if you could build generational wealth. That's okay. We doubt. Like, isn't that like a whole biblical thing? Even Jesus had a section of the story where there was doubt, and that's up for interpretation. This is in the Bible channel, but the doubt is okay, but you can't doubt yourself. You have to believe in you. Um, okay. So with that being said, this is the same for everything in life, by the way, real quick. Most people they have a New Year's resolution, right? And that resolution is over January 7th. So most people last just a week. Hopefully you will last at least 2 weeks with this generational boot camp, but at the rate things are going, it might last a little bit longer than 2 weeks because the challenges aren't being met, and that's all right. You're different though. You're different. That being said, actually, most people don't actually get to January 7th. They stop at around midnight, January 1st, because they already drank a whole bunch of liquor and they stayed up all night. What a great way to welcome a new year, new me, right? Enter the new year intoxicated and full of food that's not that great for you. That's a great way to start the year. Anyway, everybody wants a six pack, but okay, I'm done. So what the heck is even money? Let's break it down. What is money? Because most of us spend all day chasing money, right? And we don't really have a quite a good understanding of what it is. And then once we do have that understanding, we don't have an understanding of what to do with it. So a lot of people say it is a tool of exchange. It is. It is a tool of exchange. But think about the word, right? Money. It's a currency. What does a current do? A current flows, right? So think of money as water. It cuts through the most ridiculous mountains. It is a brutal force depending on the force that is applied to it. So you are the kind of Miranderer? The Mississippi River Miranders. Never mind, you're not here for an English lesson. You already know why you're here. So it is up to you to dictate the flow of your money. If you don't, other people will. And that goes without question. So a lot of you already know that money loses value every day. Well, I got this water bottle right here. If I open this water, if I open it, what is going to happen in one day? It's going to look the same. What's going to happen in 5 years? Well, it'll probably be maybe, I actually don't know. It'll probably be somewhere here. Maybe it'll be all empty. If I leave it in the hot sun, if the economy is rough, right? What's going to happen to the value of money? Well, it's going to evaporate. That's called inflation. Yes, it's not the perfect metaphor, but it's easy to see. I need some of this, and here's some money for you. Cheers. No editing. We're filming this raw, baby. Time is money. But time is a lot of other things too. So with that being said, systems, institutions like banks, like even individuals, businesses, they are encouraged to spend money because more money is created, depleting the value or depreciating the value of current money, right? If there's $100 in the world, there's all $100 in the world. Now, if there's $120, well, the value of $100 goes down by about $20 worth. So that is what's been happening in the United States since forever. And that's a good thing, because if money wasn't printed, we would have no incentive to spend it. We want to spend it because it's decreasing in value. Otherwise, we would hoard it. And that's the whole idea behind things like Bitcoin, right? There's only a certain amount of Bitcoin that will ever exist. So are people actually trading with it? more with trading it to meet that exchange, right? No, they're not. They're hoarding it. They're holding on, thinking that a 50,000 Bitcoin will reach 100,000 and then a million. So when it comes to the US dollar, no one ever thinks that this dollar is going to be worth $10,000 just if I hold on to this bad boy. That's not going to happen. You have to spend your money. And what are you going to spend your money on? But before we say that, I need to kind of encourage you guys to spend your money. Yes, I know, I know. What? We're here to spend money? Yes, you are. You're here to spend money on assets, which were assets. I said assets. I don't even say curse words. That has nothing to do with Jesus. That's just my own path I took. But when it comes to money, you do want to spend it on assets. And here's the big kicker. Inflation, yeah, ooh, scary, but what does it look like? Well, since 2021, 80% of US dollars that exist today were created between 2021 and, well, today. That's that's a major depreciation. Now, the inflation in the United States has somewhat stabilized, but there's no objective way to actually determine what inflation is. We use so many different ways and tools to measure it. You could tell whatever story you want to. There's lies, there's big lies, and there's statistics, right? So when it comes to what you do with your money to avoid inflation, you have to park it into assets. And that is what rich people do, or people who become rich do. So it's not fair to say that, hey, Jeff Bezos has $1 billion. Why doesn't he just give 5 billion? He doesn't. He doesn't have dollars. He has assets. Amazon stock is probably one of his largest assets. He has to sell that asset in order to trade it for cash, which is going to go down in value, and he can go and spend that. So he can't spend $10 billion, $20 billion, so it's all parked in assets. Those assets determine his net worth. So having a net worth of $100 billion and having $100 billion are two different things. I don't think there's a human in the world who has $100 billion in cash. Okay, it's all in assets. An asset is a resource. This is my own kind of definition. A resource that provides value to society. And the only way you can buy and have these assets is create your own business or park your money into other people's businesses. Behind me over there, there's Warren Buffett, and Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger and a pig. Well, the pig's a distraction. If you like pigs, like this video, Warren Buffett right over here and Charlie Munger, their job is to invest in good quality businesses, and one of the ways that they decide what's a good quality business is how much value does it bring to society. Now, value is subjective, and that's a different TED talk, but that's something for you to start thinking about. How much of your money that you have made so far in your life have you put into assets that go up over time, bring a value to society? Well, first, it brings a value to society, and because of that, other people start to value the actual asset itself, and that goes up over time. That being said, I say that a lot. That being said, we're not talking about stocks and bonds just yet, but I want you to now have at least an idea of what you're gonna do with your money. But think about how much of your money did you spend on assets, and how much did you spend and just hold it in cash, and how much is a liability, which is something that goes down over time, like a car, right? We talked about that in the last video. Why you'll never, whatever it was, the title. The title's not important. The message is. The title is important. Marketing's important. Important. It respects the art, but that's a different TED talk too. So with all of this being said, what are you supposed to do now? Now that you have maybe, some money and you want to invest it, but you don't know how. Well, you could put it in the next best place, a high yield savings account. I'm going to put a link below and you could make a high yield savings account. I'm actually going to link you to a brokerage and you can use that brokerage. We both get a couple bucks if you make an account and deposit at least $1. It's totally worth it. You get paid like 30 bucks. Some of my followers on Instagram actually messaged me, one person did, and said they got $2,900 for depositing $1 and then signing up some friends. So that's just amazing. And any dollar put into this brokerage platform by default will get 5%. That's awesome because US inflation right now, at the time of this video, is only 3%. What does that mean? It means you're making money on your money. Your money's working for you. Now, it's not an asset, but it is paying you some sort of cash flow because sometimes when times are tough, the government, the banks, they help you out in that way, right? They encourage you to save a little bit more just so you don't go broke later. So by parking it into a high yield savings account, you will get a yield on your cash, and it is insured. The link below, you're insured actually up to $500,000. I don't know if anyone has the problem of having more than $500,000 to insure, but just in case, you'll be getting paid 5% on your money. Unless it's over $250,000, then you're going to want to make a second high yield savings account because some high yield savings account, that's their limit. They will only pay you $1,000 a month at maximum. So enjoy that, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. All right. Take care. Yes, I am looking for the X button. You guys have been a fantastic audience.